Noob review.
Hello and welcome to another noobreview.com quick look video. I am Luke Mears and I am joined by Mr. Adam Radcliffe.
Hello.
And the Noel Edmonds of podcasting, Mr. Kieran Roycroft.
Hello there, viewers. How's it going? Hope you're doing great.
Now, as if you couldn't tell, today we are looking at Inversion on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, first things first, this has been out in the States for a while, but it's only just come out in Europe for a mysterious reason that no one will tell me when I ask them.
That's a lot of games have been doing that, like the Walking Dead episode 2. Same thing. Been out in the States for ages, took ages to come out in Europe. Not acceptable in my opinion. But that's a separate issue. Let's talk about Inversion.
Yeah, so if you're an Xbox 360 owner watching this, you may think, hang on a minute, is there a new Gears of War game out? Because, you know, I mean, this game wears its influences on its sleeve. You know, it looks like Gears of War, it sounds like Gears of War, it plays a little bit like Gears of War. Arguably not as good as Gears of War, but
No.
the influence is there.
I don't even like to make that comparison. I think it stands up well on its own. There are some similarities, I'll admit, but I don't think,
There's loads.
like, you know,
Well,
oh look, it's a bit like Gears of War, isn't it? This is obviously a shitty clone. But I think
I wouldn't go as far as to say that about it, because it does have its own merits, as you said. Now, one of the interesting things that it does that's fairly unique, apart from that really fun destructive system there you see where the scaffolding kind of bounces around,
I love the way
is the
stuff
use
goes.
of gravity. Boom!
Yeah.
Right there. Now we're walking along the side of the building.
You can't do that in
Wonderful.
Gears of War. So
No, you
shut
can't.
up.
Your characters are also armed with a piece of equipment called the Grav Link that, when activated, it can make the enemies or loose objects float. And later on in the game, you unlock the ability to have higher gravity as well, so it pins things to the ground or rips things out of the ceiling and brings them crashing to the ground level.
Yeah, and I saw this game at a couple of events, last year, and that was the main selling point for me. It looked really fun when I played it, but I'm a bit disappointed with the overall game. I must admit that the unique gameplay, like the switching of different vectors and manipulating gravity and stuff's kind of been, I wouldn't say ruined, but the rest of the game for me doesn't really hold up that well.
It's lost a bit of its impact, sort of, quite soon into the game.
Yeah, I mean there's stuff within the gameplay that's a bit frustrating, but for the most part it's like a really fun, you know, third-person shooter, but with some really cool little features that, you know, you can play around with the environment and stuff. But like, just character-wise, story-wise, just, yeah.
Should have tried
I was
harder.
gutted. Yeah.
I do like how when we were playing it, you'd shooting enemies, walking around, ducking behind cover, and then you look up and you're like, oh look, that's the ground. I'm actually upside down. And it's-
Yeah.
Well, yes, just like this moment here. You see that
Yeah.
that guy's walking on a wall from our perspective. Of course, from his perspective, we're standing on the ceiling.
So it can be surprising every now and again. You're just like, oh look, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Environments are really great.
Oh yeah, the destruction's brilliant. Even the level design, because of the sort of the vector changing, like the level design is really top notch. Really, really good. So
Yeah, there's a nice little moment coming up here actually that made me go ooh when I first played it. Here we go.
smash.
I like that. That's really cool.
What I love especially is when you can fly and float about in areas that are completely lost all gravity.
Yeah.
Yes, that is quite fun, isn't it? It's kind of like a light platforming puzzle then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to find exactly where you need to go and then not get completely confused by the fact that up is suddenly down.
Nice execution. Thank God they
Thank you.
put them in there.
Yeah.
But one of the things I like as well is that it's got competitive multiplayer, and the whole kind of shifting perspective comes into play there as well. So you'll be ducking, let's just say for instance this were a multiplayer game, I'd be ducking behind a piece of cover, shooting at this enemy in front of me, but for all I know, there's someone on the ceiling above me looking over the cover, and could completely obliterate me.
Yeah. I see. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet. I would imagine that unfortunately it's not going to be as popular as it should be. Although, like I said, I haven't tried, so I wouldn't. It's not the type of game that would draw online players to come and play it, though, is it?
Yeah.
Really? Which is a bit disappointing because
I
there's some really great stuff.
I can see what you're saying, definitely, and I actually urge anyone that has got this game to give the multiplayer a try, because it is a lot of fun. It's very disorienting at first, and I went to a press event a couple of months ago where they first let members of the press play the multiplayer, and there was literally an audible gasp in the room when everyone realised that you could kind of run up walls, and ducking behind cover didn't work anymore. In fact, one of the journalists that was sat next to me was kind of grumbling about it, going, "Stupid, what's the point of having a cover if you can't really get the cover?" I think he was just saying that because he was coming last, but still.
Yeah.
Here's one of those floating puzzles you were talking about earlier, Adam.
Love this. This is probably the most fun I've had with the game so far, because I'm about halfway through at the moment.
They should have just made the entire game like this.
Just floating about.
Why not?
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of
Space?
the Zero-G segments. Yeah, in Dead Space,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
There's quite a lot of influence from other games in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like we said
Yeah.
Gears of War. There's definitely a few Uncharted moments.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this looks exactly like Uncharted, especially with the whole door lifting thing.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. But
Yeah, that's Army of Two right there as
Yeah.
well, isn't it?
yeah, but these bits are really cool. I must admit, I had a lot of fun floating around. shooting.
Taking inspiration from a lot of different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, obviously, in the games industry, imitation is the highest form of flattery, and you know what invariably happens is a game will come out that's fairly unique and innovative, and then half a dozen, I don't want to say copycats, but games that are influenced by it will come out, and perhaps they will slowly improve on it in increments until eventually we end up with like a massively superior version a few years down the line.
This was sold out everywhere when I tried to get a copy.
That's good news then.
Yeah, I mean, people were obviously excited to play it and thought this looks like it could be something new. This is doing some things
I
different.
love doing that. Grabbing enemies, flinging them up in the air is really fun.
Yeah, it's great fun. There is something really satisfying about just grabbing hold of an enemy and then launching them 10,000 miles into
Yeah.
space.
To the stratosphere.
No!
I don't even know who these enemies are yet. I've been playing the game, but who are these people invading my planet? Flipping gravity around.
Yeah, like I said, the story isn't the best thing about the game by any means. I mean, there's that many plot holes, it's just like, what? But I think it's the type of game, really, that to get the most out of it, you just kind of have to go, don't care about the story, don't care about the characters, let's just mess around with things and have some fun. That's how I'm going to approach it from now on, anyway.
I would agree with you. There are some pretty neat plot twists towards the end. I won't go into depth about them, but one of them's a bit silly, and one of them's I thought was really cool. But it's definitely a game that is best played with a friend in co-op. Definitely.
Don't like how the AI can't pick you up. That kind of ruins a single-player campaign as well.
Well, yes, that is probably my biggest frustration, is just when I was given a review copy of this, nobody else seemed to be playing it online at the time, so I had to play single player. And of course the AI partner isn't that bright, and he won't revive you if you go down, so if you go down and are injured, that's it, you have to restart from the last checkpoint, which invariably tends to be like 5-10 minutes ago. Normally right before a cutscene, so you have to watch the bloody cutscene again.
Yeah. Or skip it.
Well, yeah, there is that. Look, as a big advocate for narrative in games, I feel a little dirty whenever I skip a cutscene, though. But I guess that's my fault, not anyone else's.
Bigger they are.
The harder they hit you.
The harder they blow up. I don't know. But yeah, it's a good game. A bit disappointed with how it actually turned out, but there's some really cool stuff in there, I think. Just have fun with it. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. So it's available to buy right now everywhere on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Thank you for playing. Presented by
Noob Review.